Was ist überhaupt so schwierig daran, die Idee bedingungsloses Grundeinkommen zu verstehen?
Ich glaube, die Schwierigkeit besteht darin, dass man nicht gewohnt ist, dass man sagt, man gibt Macht ab. Weil in Wirklichkeit bedeutet es das. Wenn nämlich das bedingungslose Grundeinkommen eingeführt ist, dann haben zum Beispiel die Arbeitnehmer die Möglichkeit, auf gleicher Augenhöhe mit dem Arbeitgeber über ihre Arbeitssituation und über ihre Höhe des Geldes, was sie in Lohn werden sollten, zu diskutieren. Und sie können Nein sagen, wenn ihnen die Arbeitsbedingungen oder auch die Bezahlung nicht reicht. Sie sind nicht angewiesen, eine Erwerbsarbeit aufzunehmen, weil das bedingungslose Grundeinkommen ja so gestaltet werden soll, dass es sozusagen Existenz und Teilhabe sichernd ist. Das heißt, ein bescheidenes Leben auch möglich sein soll, ohne dass man Erwerbsarbeit macht.
Wenn das Grundeinkommen jetzt so eine gute Idee ist, warum gibt es dann so viele Widerstände? Was ist vielleicht das Problem? Wo klemmt es?
Ja, ich glaube, es ist dieses seit vielen Jahren den meisten Menschen eingehämmertes Leistungsdenken, ja? Dass man sagt, nur wenn man was leistet, kann man was bekommen. Dass man was geschenkt bekommt, ist sozusagen den meisten Menschen völlig absurd. Und wir meinen aber, das bedingungslose Grundeinkommen ist ein Menschenrecht. Einfach, weil ich Mensch bin, habe ich ein Recht zu existieren. Und jede Regierung hätte sozusagen die Aufgabe, den Menschen in den Mittelpunkt zu stellen und bei der Budgeterstellung zunächst einmal auszurechnen, was brauche ich, um das zu finanzieren. Und alles Übrige vom Bruttoinlandsprodukt, da verwende ich dann für die anderen Politikfelder. Aber wenn ich den Menschen im Mittelpunkt stelle, kann ich es finanzieren. Und jeder kann einmal angstfrei leben, ohne Angst zu haben, dass er arbeitslos wird oder und so weiter. Das heißt, er hat die Möglichkeit, sein Leben selbst zu gestalten, wie er es für sinnvoll hält.
Was glauben Sie, was es mit Grundeinkommen dann geben wird, was es heute noch überhaupt nicht gibt?
Ich glaube, sehr viele sinnvolle Tätigkeiten, die sozusagen nicht marktfähig sind, ja, weil sie keinen Gewinn einbringen, die aber trotzdem unter Umständen sinnvoller sind, als für die Konsumgesellschaft immer mehr zu produzieren, würden plötzlich kommen. Ja, das könnten ganz einfache Dinge sein, die sozusagen das Lokale vor dem globalen stellen, also zum Beispiel regionale Wirtschaften für bestimmte Bioprodukte oder sonst etwas. Das kann für die Lebensmittel einfach gesünder sein, ist aber sozusagen unter Umständen nicht marktfähig. Aber wenn ich das Grundeinkommen habe, dann kann ich das trotzdem machen. Ich muss ja nicht daran verdienen, sondern es genügt, wenn ich also meinen Verdienst habe und zusätzlich was verdiene, indem ich da noch etwas mache. Aber ich bin nicht darauf angewiesen, dass ich da Gewinne mache. Also das ist ein Beispiel zum Beispiel.
What is your greatest hope with basic income?
That all the citizens of Poland will understand that the basic income, universal basic income, actually implies personal freedom.
What is so difficult of understanding basic income when talking to people? What's so difficult about it?
The first reaction is, oh, this is just like communism. Everyone gets 1,000 zlotych and that's it. And the second one is, well, then everybody is just going to drink. It's very superficial. Very superficial.
But you don't think that? You don't think that everybody is just going to drink?
No, I don't think so. I think that the basic nature of humans it's to improve. Majority of people like to improve themselves and like to work on themselves.
Okay. What do you think is going to be possible when we have basic income, what we don't have today?
Well, in the post-communist societies, I think very important is the idea, the learning of the civil society. The civil society is what really makes society livable, what makes society rich. And post-communist societies do not have really the civil society aspect, the volunteer work, the work for higher ideas. And I think with the universal basic income, you will be able to do that.
Many people talk about the struggle for basic income. What do you think? Who is the biggest enemy of basic income, if there is one?
Inactivity of citizens. This is one, and second, all the bureaucrats employed by the civil service.
Okay. Thank you very much. What is your greatest hope with basic income?
Well, my greatest hope is that people with this basic income will imagine their lives differently. They can imagine whether they are going to work for this crappy company or for the banks or for bad businesses, they will have the power to choose if they want to do it or not, or if they rather work for caring about their relatives, care about their neighbors, doing meaningful stuff, So that's the biggest hope I see in the basic income.
Was glauben Sie denn, was es dann geben wird mit Grundeinkommen, was wir heute noch nicht haben?
Dann besteht einfach die Möglichkeit, dass in vielen Bereichen die Kreativität viel stärker umgesetzt werden kann, die Ideen umgesetzt werden können, die die Menschen haben. Heute arbeiten vermutlich ganz viele in Bereichen, die gar nicht ihren tatsächlichen Fähigkeiten entsprechen, weil sie ihre Existenz sichern müssen. Und dadurch würde dann ganz viel Potenzial freigesetzt werden, um in ganz vielen anderen Bereichen wirklich unsere Gesellschaft insgesamt weiterzuentwickeln.
What is your greatest hope with basic income?
My greatest hope is not to have to worry about my rent anymore or my, workshops that I want to do or anything I want to pursue. Yeah. Not to have to worry, can I buy the stuff that I want to eat or do I have to buy the stuff that, I can buy with the money I have at hand? That's my hope, that it's in my lifetime, like, to me, basic income is just a step towards a society with little or no experience of scarcity. Doesn't mean we don't have scarcity, just means we are just that well organized that we don't experience scarcity anymore. And so, I hope that in my lifetime, there's like the basic income is going to be one of the first steps towards that kind of society.
All right, and you're talking about society, so in terms of, society as a whole and organization and structure, what do you think what's going to be possible with basic income, what we don't have today?
What's going to be possible with basic income, what we don't have today? People saying, like people having more freedom of, like a better choice of what they want to do and what they don't want to do, for whom they want to work and for whom they don't want to work, what they want to take part in and what they don't want to take part in. Right now we have to, like, if there's a big guy or girl that has lots of money and tells me, look, you're going to sing for me if I pay you that money, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm coming. Even though, you make children work for you in the East or whatever. But if I had, an income that doesn't depend on people being, people giving it to me, I could say, no, I don't want to work with you. You do this and this and that. Or I don't want to buy your product because this is crap, Or the way you create it is crap.
You talk about many positive things. Are there any negative? Are there any fears? Anything we should be afraid of when talking about basic income?
We should be cautious about certain things, I think. For instance, how to implement it. Because right now people are used to just do stuff because they have to do it. We get pushed to school, we get pushed to kindergarten, we are made to do things all through our life. So when we become adults, we're used to, okay, somebody's going to push me. Somebody is going to make me do things. Now, if that, suddenly stops, people will be like, oh shit, what am I going to do? Oh, I just go on vacation for the next 6 months. They'll do that for 6 months and then they'll be like, oh God, vacation is so boring all the time, only vacation. But that time period, I think we just have to be cautious how to implement it. And maybe not implement it the same way in all the regions, but let people be part of the decision how to implement it, where.
And now last question.
Their money on something, they may want to pool their money collectively to do something for the community, or they may want to just spend it themselves. I think it does need to be like that. I think just following on from a point you made, it's almost like with the way things are going at the moment, it's like we have everything backwards. We think money is limited. But resources are unlimited. That's how we use the world. Whereas, in fact, it's the opposite, okay? Because, of course, people made up money, okay? So if it's something that comes from our heads, then it's unlimited, yeah? So if we sort of, you know, if we use money for the things that we actually need it for, we don't have to wait for, you know, some bank to say yes or some government to say yes or whatever, okay? If we have the money for ourselves, then, you know, then communities can collectively make decisions for themselves also.
Okay, all right. And last question, personally, what would you do, both of you, with the basic income?
Pretty much what I do right now already. I would write my songs and go sing them with the band that I'm in, and and I would travel. I would definitely travel, like maybe spend some month, like 3 months a year outside of Germany, just to learn other languages, to get to know other cultures, because that pushed me forward in my development throughout my life, which I can't do it right now because I'm having very little money. Yeah, I'd have more freedom to travel and to discover things and to learn new things. That's what I'd do.
Okay. And what about you?
I would not do the job I'm doing at the moment, which is I'm a benefits advisor in the UK, in London. Because, I mean, that's the thing, it would be hopefully a simple system, so people they wouldn't need my services for that, and so then I could write the novel that I'm sitting on, I could do the research that I'm working on, I could do the volunteer work and raise my kid without having to worry about things.
Was ist die größte Hoffnung, die sich mit dem Grundeinkommen verbindet?
Die Frage ist ja letztlich die nach dem Menschenbild und haben wir vor dem Menschen Angst oder nicht? Haben wir Angst, dass alles zusammenbricht, wenn keiner mehr arbeiten muss, sondern nur noch arbeiten darf?
Was wird mit Grundeinkommen möglich, was es heute noch gar nicht gibt?
Ja, ich würde sagen, insgesamt eine viel freiere Gesellschaft, dass jeder für sich entscheiden kann, was er tun will und sich so einbringen kann. Also ich glaube auch, dass dann der Arbeitsmarkt wieder funktionieren kann und die Löhne sich entsprechend einpendeln können und wir insgesamt halt eine solidarische Gesellschaft kriegen, statt der heute überwiegenden Neidgesellschaft.
Ich glaube, das bedingungslose Grundeinkommen ist der Start einer sehr großen gesellschaftlichen Veränderung.
What is going to be possible with basic income, what we don't have today?
Well, actually, we don't know, but I think we have to try, and we have to try really hard, because constantly there are more and more news articles about computers taking our jobs, and that's a good thing, because who wants to do those jobs anyways? So we should all ask ourselves, what's going to happen in 2020 or 2030 when most of our jobs becomes computerized? So how are those people doing those jobs today? How are they going to survive? And should we prepare for that? Should we seek new options? That's what I'm thinking about, and that's what I think this is a good idea.
What's the biggest problem when talking about basic income?
Fear of unknown. There are all kind of opinions, good ones, bad ones. Really, there's a lot of unknowns about basic income, and we should all educate ourselves and the people to have better opinions.
Thank you very much.